Hey everybody, hello, it's Tina Forsyth here, and I am delighted to be doing this video today. I'm here with Kim DeYoung. I don't know which side you're going to show up on, Kim, but
I don't
hey,
know.
give a
Hello.
wave. So here's the thing, you guys, we are talking launch management, and Kim and I have partnered up, partners in crime, with something that we wanted to bring to the table for you guys here. And in particular, what we're starting with, and this is of course video number 1, is a short kind of little mini training video series to help you with the launch management piece. But before we get into that, I want to let you guys know why I asked Kim to do this with me. And you know, it's funny, of course, Kim and I, you and I have known each other for like many
Long time.
years, I
Yeah, long
think.
time.
And, you know, as always seems to happen, it's funny. I love how this happens. It's kind of like for a number of years now, we've always been sort of like, we'll probably do something together someday in some way, shape, or form. Kim is, of course, the founder of Get It Done You, which is a part of her business that she's run for many, many years now. And I was going to say more important, but equally as important, might be a better way to phrase it. She's actually the creator of the Women's Launch Playbook. And this is something that just in the past year or so, I think that you've really been brewing and mulling and putting together. And I remember you and I talking about this. Well, it wasn't even a year ago. Wasn't it like in the
It
spring?
was at the beginning of this year.
Oh
I'm going
gosh.
to tell you something. It was you kind of saying to me, I kind of mumbled it under my breath, mentioning the name. And you were like, what's that, Kim? What are you talking about? And you said, that is a good idea. We need to talk about it later. And that was kind of, we reconnected about it.
Yeah, well, and so here's the thing, you guys, because Kim has done everything from, you know, what I would say like small launches, you know, for those business owners in startup and in varying just in the earlier stages of business, through to working with the Glazer Kennedy business, working with Glazer Kennedy for, I think, a couple of years there, right?
Yeah.
And you ran 3 of their multi-million-dollar launches.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, Kim knows A to Z what this whole launch thing is about. And what I know to be true in kind of our online business manager community, and why I'm really excited to be able to kind of finally bring this to the table, because this is something I've wanted to do for a while now. For you guys as online business managers, I know that this is an area that many of you might find challenging. I know that this is an area that can cause a lot of confusion. Like launches, my gosh, there's 8 million things that come into play. And who knows, you know, if you're supposed to do this or that, or what does it look like, etc. But, you know, likewise, I know that this is something that your clients really want your help with. And whether you are working as an OBM dedicated to your clients and helping those clients with launches, or whether you're looking at and exploring the idea of actually specializing in launch management a little bit, right? Like being able to maybe create some packages or such in this area, which is something I know that some of you are looking to do. What Kim and I are partnering up on here is, of course, first and foremost, to bring you this free video series, a 3-part video series, to really help answer some of your key questions, right? And then, of course, for those of you who are interested, we do have a full-blown training program, a launch management training program that's actually going to start in January, but we'll give you details on that by the 3rd video. Sorry, we're going to keep you in suspense. But what I wanted to do in these 3 videos together with Kim is to give you guys really the answers to some of the more common questions or challenges that I know you guys are dealing with. And we did a poll for those of you who've already been a part of our OBM community for a while. You'll remember that we did a little survey a couple of weeks back, 2 or 3 weeks back, just asking you about launches. You know, what are your biggest questions? What are your biggest frustrations? What does that look like for you? And one of the key things that jumped out was kind of like knowing and understanding launch strategy. You know, like how do you know what kind of launch needs to be done and when? And I know that this is something that your clients really want your guidance in as much as possible. For you to bring this to the table as an OBM can be very powerful, right? It's one of those things that kind of makes you the cream of the crop, so to speak, when it comes to helping your clients with launches. And what I love, and I'm going to just basically turn it over to you here, I think, in a moment, Kim, is really one of the things that Kim has created for the Women's Launch Playbook and that she talks about and teaches in this area is that there's 5 different types of launches, 5 launch channels, essentially, that come into play. And we want to share those with you guys today here in this video, just so that you kind of have that bigger picture idea of here's the different types of launches that are out there, and here's when and where they can apply to the work you're doing with your clients. So, woohoo, Kim! I know that was me talking quite a bit for a few minutes. But tell us about these 5 different types of launches, these launch channels.
You know, it's funny. When having done the Glazer Kennedy launches, they were in the stratosphere, the biggest type of launch model, which is something that I call the Buzzworthy Launch. But what I've experienced is that that's not necessarily the launch channel that everybody has the resources to do. That one requires a lot of resources. I mean, truly, you have to have, first of all, you have to have confidence that your product works. So likely your product has to have been out there before. And, you know, it's time resources, money resources, personal wherewithal resources. And so it becomes the question of like, what are the other options from that? And what I believe is that there are 3 other options that every business owner can absolutely focus on if they're launching, and each has a different purpose. So for example, the one thing that I tell clients all the time is you can always use speaking as a launch channel. We all have the ability to speak, whether you want to get out there online or offline, however you're speaking, whether you're doing webinars or teleseminars, live webcasts, for example, or maybe you're speaking at your local networking group or a local, you know, an association meeting or something. You have the ability to put together content that is great quality free content that's high quality, so it's valuable for the person coming, that naturally upsells and segues to what it is that you're launching. I mean, that's kind of the no-brainer. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is within everybody's wheelhouse to do that.
Yeah.
And it requires a handful of things. It certainly requires putting together a signature talk, for example, something that will naturally segue to that offering that you have. And, you know, and again, reaching out to people who can partner with you where you can have that opportunity to speak. But speaking is a great resource that, again, it doesn't require a lot of resources.
Yeah. So number one
is speaking.
Yeah.
Number 2 is, again, something that we can all do, which is creating partnerships, affiliates, joint ventures, strategic partnerships, so that those people can help us to launch. So what that really means is finding partners who have a community or a list who can benefit from what it is that you offer, and where there's a congruency. And so it really is just a matter of reaching out to those people to say, look, I have this. I believe it would benefit your people. Let's have a conversation. How might that look? Providing the resources for them to make it as easy for them as possible. That's got to be key. And, you know, I think what happens, and I was the affiliate manager for Glazer Kennedy, so I'm very sensitive to the whole affiliate side. And I think what's very interesting as the business owner asking something of an affiliate is actually to realize that as the business owner, how much you need that affiliate. And to realize that they are giving you a gift of sharing you with their people. I mean, it's a very interesting mentality to kind of get into that place of thinking, you know what, I am really happy to pay you a very generous percentage for spreading the word about what it is that I know to your people, because I never would have known your people. And thank you so much for having the faith in the product that I've created to share this with them. So affiliates is something you can absolutely, everybody can do. And, you know, again, it takes a little bit of legwork, giving thought to who has the communities and the people that can, in fact, benefit from what it is that you have to offer. One of the things, and I will just caveat, I'll say this with a caveat, with an affiliate program, likely you want to have launched before. That's just something, because an affiliate is likely going to say, do I want to take this program out there and test it with my people and, you know, use up my marketing space to mail for you, etc. I don't know that your program's so great. You may say it's great, but do you have results? So an affiliate, going and using the affiliate relationship can often be better if, in fact, you have some proven track record with your project. Okay, I will tell you number 3. Number 3 is my favorite. Number 3 is not for everything, but I have now used number 3 2 different times, and I love it. What number 3 is it's called running a pilot program. So Tina mentioned that I am the creator of the Women's Launch Playbook. Well, this is an idea that has been brewing in my brain since the beginning of this year, but I hadn't gotten it out there. And like many of us, like many of your clients, people will sit with ideas before they have the opportunity to get off their butt and get them out there, and they get caught up in the perfection and all the issues and details of what that program needs to be. And the pilot program is sort of a way to take what you have in idea form and put it out there to a safe group and work through the kinks. So in my case, I took my women's launch playbook. I initially went out to 10 women that I felt very safe with and said, hey, I've got this program, I've got it thought out. Every module is not perfect. I have not created the content fully. I don't have my handouts. I'm going to kind of be making it up as I go. But I know you need what I've got. I know you trust me. Would you like to join in with me? Not only did those 10 women say yes right away, they told their friends and their friends. So it ultimately became 25 people that just went through this program with me. Now, I will tell you a handful of benefits that happen now. I just completed this program in October. So a few things. Number one, I have testimonials from those 25 people as I now go forth into a bigger place and put together my sales page and have those testimonials. Bigger thing, I have confidence. So now as I go forward, I speak with great integrity. I feel like I own it, like I know this program works. I've just experienced it. The people that I invited to participate were people that I asked their feedback. I said, hey, I'm going to do everything I can to make this program work for you. Let me know along the way if there's something that I haven't given you that I can give you. I'm here to make it work. So I really got the feedback. So now as I take this program forth in a bigger way, I feel with great integrity that I can do that. So that's a really key thing. So a pilot program is specifically great, more likely for a coaching program or an info product that, like I will take, for example, the Women's Launch Playbook is something which can be taught live or it can be sold as an info product. But it's probably for something bigger in scale. It's not if your client is launching, an ebook. I mean, that wouldn't be appropriate. It's for more of a system that somebody is creating. But this is the second time I've done it. I did it the first time for a program that I ran 4 years ago. Very similar reasoning of kind of wanting to just get over myself, get it out there, try it, and have the confidence so I could do that in a bigger way. Huge thing. The fourth launch channel that I love to share, and again, this is something we can all do. This is called the Evergreen Launch. Now, the Evergreen Launch it's not a speedy launch. It's not all the hype of the Buzzworthy Launch, and I'll save that one for the end. But the Evergreen Launch is kind of like the slow and steady wins the race kind of thing. So as an example, you would have a freebie. So some great free report, some great free talk. Again, you can sort of see the combination of maybe how speaking works with Evergreen. You could invite people to, maybe you've done a free talk, for example, that's now been recorded. They get to listen to that, and that now upsells them to something. And there can be a long follow-up kind of drip campaign that goes along with it, providing great content, etc., but always leading to that offering. And that's something that can just be set up in your back-end system. People can be driven to that freebie, whatever it is, through, you can do pay-per-click, you could do Facebook ads, you can use affiliates. You can combine these things together. It's almost like you can have affiliates drive people to something free, and then slowly they move through the follow-up sequence and get led to the offer. It's not as sexy for an affiliate who probably wants to be involved in something where they're going to see the results really quickly, but depending on who the affiliate is, that may be an interesting channel as well. And then finally, the fifth channel is the Buzzworthy channel, the Buzzworthy Launch. Now, and I will state with all candor, this one is not for everybody. This is this is probably the one you see most likely when you're getting emails from people. If you're paying attention to the launches and the things that go out there, which I'm sure you do, there are a lot of people out there who will do these kind of 3 or 4 video series, very high content videos that by the time you get to the 4th video, they're making their sale for what it is that they're launching. They're great. I mean, they're great quality content. People are getting great value along the way, but requires a lot of resources, requires, again, time, money, all those sorts of things. It's also one of the cool things and challenging things about a Buzzworthy launch is that it's typically done in a very short time frame. Not to say the back end is short, but the actual launch is taking place somewhere between 7 and 14 days of time. So it's really hyped. It's very social media. It's a lot of buzz. That's why I coined the name the Buzzworthy Launch. But it's really dependent on people. It's dependent on affiliates, and it's really dependent on creating a lot of hype and buzz to drive traffic to these free videos so that people can then, be drawn, taken by the hand to that offering.
Yeah. And so here's the thing, you guys, what we're going to do in the next video is talk about how you can help your clients decide which is the best launch channel for them, right? Because I just want to review these 5 launch channels. And again, like you said too, Kim, it's worth noting, like sometimes these will be combined, sometimes it'll just be one and the other and so on. But it's really, think of it like a launch channel or a launch path, whatever makes sense for you to think of it this way. Number 1 was speaking. We're speaking, doing a class, selling them something, right? I mean, that's kind of that scenario. JV's affiliates, getting other people involved to promote. The pilot launch, I want to talk about that. No, we're going to talk about that more in the next video. The Evergreen launch, and then the Buzzworthy. Because here's the thing that I want to leave you guys with as a final thought, because I know we're a little over time. We could probably keep talking about this, but we'll keep it short for the next video. All your clients are going to come to you thinking they want or need the Buzzworthy launch. And 9 times out of 10, that ain't the case. And we can all give each other a hallelujah as OBMs, because that's going to mean a lot less work for you and a lot less headache for you guys too. When you get to really help your clients decide on the proper launch for them, given where they're at, that's not only going to be more effective and valuable for them, but it's going to mean less work for you too. So that's what we'll talk about in the next video here, you guys too, right? But just some food for thought. These 5 launch channels, between now and the next video, what are you seeing out there? What do you see people using? What are the launches you see going on maybe right now, or maybe that you've seen in the past month or two? Likewise, what are your clients looking at doing right now too? Just take a look around. When you understand these different launch channels, you'll start to see what's happening around you in a different way. And Kim and I will see you for video number 2. That will be coming here shortly. Depending on the timing of when you're watching these, it'll be a couple of days, or you might be able to watch them back to back. We'll see. All right. Catch you guys then. Bye.
Yeah.